I enjoyed the show. Recently, I've been very fond of shows that um, have characters that are in a closer age to mine because it's easier to relate and understand the scenarios and situations and issues that they're going through. I love the fact that it was set in a high school and it felt like it was like Laguna Beach, but I didn't feel as stupid watching it. The high school competition, rivalry, and drama are things that I can genuinely relate to because it's like something that I could be in.
I actually really like The Paper. I think it's probably one of the best reality shows MTV has right now, and the people I've talked to also agree with me. I think it seems very real, where a lot of MTV shows seem kind of scripted or fake. I think it's kind of fun, it's endearing, and it brings people back to high school where everyone thought everything was the end of the world and everything was so serious.
It's definitely aimed at someone of the junior high or early high school status. Being 22, it's not something that really pertains to where I'm at in my life right now. I'm about to graduate college, so I guess if it had something to do with, if there was a show where kids were graduating college and they were figuring out their careers, it's something like pertains to my age group, then it would be something that would interest me.
I personally, I don't like to write essays or articles, read essays, the whole English class homework paper thing. It's really just can ruin my night. It doesn't, spark my interest at all.
I wouldn't think that a high school newspaper would be very interesting, but it really is. And I think it's good that MTV is taking on normal everyday things that their viewers deal with and are a part of, and kind of showing them to the rest of the world instead of doing some fantasy world that no one can really be part of, like The Hills. Every kid can join their high school newspaper.
The 30-minute premiere show, it was semi-interesting and to the point.
Could be, I guess, a little fast. There was a lot covered in the beginning where it went from the summer to the school year right away. But I thought that was necessary. It was interesting that last year, last year was the last episode, and this year there was a whole new episode for this year. That time lapse was a little weird, but I liked it.
The pace of the show, I guess it kind of felt like maybe it moved too fast.
The only thing I dislike about the show is that it seems like there are two spheres. There's the Amanda sphere, and then there's the rest of the cast. And I know Amanda is the star of the show, and it's pretty obvious, but I just wish that there was more to the rest of the cast than how much they hate Amanda or how, crazy they are. That's another thing I don't like about the show. The characters kind of, although it seems like a real show, it doesn't seem that scripted, the characters do seem kind of fake. Not fake, but just they only have one thing to them. They seem a little crazy and eccentric, and I know that's what makes good TV, but it's just there's not something that's human that drags us to them, except for Alex.
My favorite character is Gianna. She stands among the others because I feel like I can relate to her the most, and she seems like someone I could be friends with, whereas the other characters' personalities seem too extreme. My least favorite character is Amanda. She's portrayed as obnoxious, and that is exactly why I didn't like her. I thought the endless shots of her in front of the mirror primping herself were really obnoxious and added to her whole character that I didn't like.
My favorite character is probably Amanda for obvious reasons. I mean, she's supposed to be our favorite character because she's presented as the star. I think she's so eccentric, she's so quirky. I think if she were my editor-in-chief, I would hate her, but she's not, so I don't have to hate her, even though she's a little annoying. I think that adds to her character. In the real world, she'll be very successful, but in high school, everyone hates her. I also really, really like Alex. I think Alex is the most normal character. He's the most down-to-earth. He seems like he could be at your high school. He could be everybody's friend.
The main characters in the show aren't anyone that I personally could relate with, therefore it's not something I feel like I'd end up watching. The overall concept of the show, I think it could end up, it's a different concept of a reality show. You haven't seen anything about a high school newspaper yet. I think it's kind of interesting for, like I said, younger kids might more feel like it's more interesting to them.
I would like to learn more about the other staff members, if I could change anything on the show, especially since I don't like Amanda, who's the main character and gets the most airtime. So I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting more than 4 or 5 main characters.
I heard about this show before I first watched it, actually, I didn't see commercials for it, but I saw a blog, like someone blogged about it on Gawker.com, and they continue to blog about it every week and like recap the show. And so I really like that, and it kind of keeps me informed. And they show a little clip of it, which I don't know if they're actually legally allowed to, and that like makes me want to watch more.
I'd seen it on a commercial. I'd seen an advertisement for it, and it hooked me as a show that I think that I could like. Unless the paper goes in a sour direction, I should be watching this show every week.